This is First and Ben.
What is up, everybody? It's your boy Benji. First off, happy holidays to everyone tuning in. Whatever you celebrate, I hope you enjoy it because we need to enjoy all we got nowadays. Things are just still tough and they're going to be tough for a while. So I hope everybody just can sit back and relax and just enjoy everything you got. It's the holidays now, almost the end of the year. Just, I hope everybody has a good day. No matter how big or small, just be grateful. And welcome back to my podcast, First and Ben. This is episode number 6. Number 6. I can't believe, honestly, I've made it to this episode. Anyway, today is Tuesday, December 15th, 2020. Like I said, it's almost the end of the year. So just got to power through these next few weeks and then we're on to 2021. Hopefully the tide changes and everything's better next year. This has really been a year of looking in the mirror and just a lot of life lessons. But hopefully 2021 is a time for a lot of great things to come. And we'll see how it goes. If you haven't gotten the chance, make sure to click the links in the description or just head over to my channel page to find any of the prior 5 podcast recordings in which I've gotten to talk to Malcolm Bell from the University of Hartford men's lacrosse team, Ben Berger from the baseball team at St. Bonaventure University, and recently to Donovan Lacey from the Sacred Heart University's men's lacrosse team. Now, it's always fun getting to talk to other college athletes and picking their brains, whether it's about something going on in the sports world or getting to know them with pop culture topics, just seeing what their thought process is and, getting to see what people from different universities, different backgrounds, different parts of the country, Long Island, another kid here in the Philly area and the DMV, Maryland area. It's just fun to get to talk to them. We share common goals being college athletes. So it's always fun to get to talk to them. Hopefully one day get to talk to either a professional athlete, someone high in the sports world, and just see who I can talk to throughout this podcast. Today's episode is jam-packed. Topics include, the Philadelphia Eagles, unfortunately, it's been shaky. Crazy game on Sunday, but otherwise shaky year. The Sixers, the gone but never forgotten hip-hop mascot. Should college athletes be allowed to major in sports in college, just like how musicians can major in music and performers can major in arts or things of that nature? The debate of night games versus day games, both as a fan and a player, as I sent out polls on my social media platforms asking everyone what their opinions are, and wrapping it up with what is the best music to listen to in warm-ups. Everybody has their own type of genre or just their own artist or anything. I'm a big rap or hip-hop fan, so that really gets me going, especially back during the high school basketball days and the warm-ups. And I got big crowds going. You got the speakers blasting. That was great. You run out in the court, nothing better. But before we start, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and stay tuned for any new content on this channel. Also, go give a follow to my Instagram accounts. My personal is at Ben_Garcia3, and my content account is garcia.studios. I post videos I make, some different pictures I take, and other content, including a preview to each episode. And I also have a Twitter account now for Garcia Studios. It is at Garcia Studios 2. Apparently there's another Garcia Studios, and apparently there was Garcia.studios. So I got to go with Garcia Studios 2 on Twitter. Make sure to give that a follow as well. And also, I guess I'll throw in my personal Twitter at BG3Ben. More of an Instagram guy, but I still go on Twitter and I'll talk sports there. So give me a follow there as well. And I think I've rambled on for long enough here, so let's just get the first topic over with. And that's the Philadelphia Eagles. Oh, man. What a season. Not in a good way. This has been quite a painful season to be an Eagles fan. If we were just bad, like you could say, all right, it's not our year. Get ready for next year. Get the draft picks going. But the division is so bad that in we were in first for so long, and we should have won more games. We're up 17-0 at halftime, or 17-3 on the Washington football team, excuse me, and we somehow can't win that. What? And then other games, we tie the Bengals. Those are two easy wins right there. And then other games where we're right down, almost beat the Ravens somehow. It's been just a crazy year. And it all starts with the offense. What has happened to the offense? Wentz was putting up ridiculous numbers last year, breaking records, throwing for all these touchdowns and yards. 2 years ago, on the run, scrambling out, picking up yardage with first downs with his feet. And now he's just sitting in the pocket forever, and he's getting sacked. Or he's throwing picks because he's trying to force it instead of just throwing it away. Just throw the ball away. It's okay. If you throw the ball away, we don't lose yards, and we don't turn the ball over. And that goes back to Howie Roseman and Doug Peterson getting Jalen Hurts. Why, when you have one of the best quarterbacks in the league, do you draft the runner-up to the Heisman Trophy, a man who won the national championship with Alabama, went to Oklahoma, did really well with them? Why do you draft him in the second round? I get that you're trying to get a quarterback as like a safety quarterback for Wentz if he gets hurt, because that's just happened nearly every year. But you don't use your second-round draft pick on that quarterback. You don't take Jalen Hurts, or at least maybe if he's still available in like the fourth round, maybe you get him then. But you put unnecessary pressure on the quarterback. Once as an athlete, that as a college athlete, your college coaches are out recruiting for your replacement once you get to campus. And professional, that drafts are meant to get your replacement. So when you see your coaches and your owners and GMs get a guy like Jalen Hurts in the second round, it's mentally going to mess with you. It's this pressure of, are they trying to replace me? Now I need to put up these numbers so then I stay the number one quarterback. And of course, you have the media who's going to be saying, Carson Wentz's days are done in Philly. And it just mentally ruined Wentz this year, trying to do things he never does. And it just messed with everything. And then you go to early on in the season when we were in first place, 3-4-1. We have Travis Fulgham, is one of the best receivers in the league, as a former practice squad player, a walk-on at Old Dominion. And then we get Alshon Jeffrey, and you just limit the reps of Fulgham. No. Wentz was working with Fulgham to keep Fulgham in. And we just stopped running the ball. Why do you stop running the ball? You have Miles Sanders. You have Boston Scott. You have these guys who run the ball. I understand the offensive line problem. We have a new offensive line every week. It's terrible. But you got to run the ball, and you got to have Fulgham in there. And you look at the passing game, go back to 2015 or 6. I want to say 2015, maybe 2014. Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator Doug Peterson. The Kansas City Chiefs don't throw one passing touchdown to a wide receiver all regular season. This isn't the first time an offense has struggled with the passing game under Peterson's control. We didn't have that when Reich was with us. Reich's gone. Peterson's got the play calls, and we're struggling. But obviously this Sunday things were different. Taking on the 10-2 Number one team in the NFC. New Orleans Saints, number one defense. And we put up over 200 something yards rushing. Put up 24 points. Should have put up more. We're up 17-0 at half. And we somehow get out of there with a win to go to 4-8-1. Now we're in third. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what to think about that game. It's just false hope. I want to think it's actual hope, but we're 4-8-1. How much true hope is there? We lost games where such winnable games where if we win just half of those, we're in first. About to clinch. But now we need to win out and get some help, from other teams. And let's move on from that subject. Eagles disappointment. Everybody knows what's going on. Topic number 2, we got the Philadelphia Sixers, really the 76ers. And let's start off with hands down the greatest mascot in the history of the NBA, one of the greatest mascots of all time, Hip Hop. If you don't know who Hip Hop is, he is a rabbit that wears shades, a do-rag, and a Sixers uniform. It was the old Sixers uniforms. The ones that, we were expecting to come out when they were saying there was these new uniforms that they used Allen Iverson to hype up. And we could see that they were going to be black uniforms. So you thought, 01 jerseys, we're bringing them back. Nope. We just didn't. It looks like it's just a bunch of random scribbles. I know it's supposed to be Boathouse Row, but not a fan. I like the trust the process little tribute in there, other than that. Because if you were looking at it from the stands, it's just going to look like scribbles, or from the TV. Not a big fan of those uniforms. But anyway, Hip Hop, if you look it up, was, quote, killed and buried. Those are the owner's words from 2011. Actually, from 2014, when they finally would admit that they killed Hip Hop. Killed Hip Hop is, quote, killed and buried. So they got rid of Hip Hop, and they didn't have a mascot till 2015 when they, quote, wanted to get a mascot built by the kids for a friendly environment at games. Well, guess what happened when you got it? Well, let's break down the timeline. 2009. The Philadelphia 76ers get rid of color scheme and they go to red, white, and blue. Okay, I get it, 1776, United States, red, white, and blue. Not a big fan, but all right. 2011, new owners, let's get rid of Hip Hop. He's not good for this franchise, blah, 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 blah. What do you know about that? You're walking in here and trying to change the entire culture of a team that went to the finals a decade ago, and we don't have a mascot till 2015. Oh, and by the way, the year they killed Hip Hop, it was the last time we made the playoffs for another 7 years, till 2018. So you basically change the whole organization. We're more of just the Sixers than 76ers now. So you change the whole organization, the look, the vibes, everything, and we become the joke of the NBA, joke of professional sports. Some people say it's just a mascot, just colors. It's just changing the name from 76 to just 6, or just Sixers, excuse me. Well, look at what happened. A new change, they tried to make changes, and just things fell apart. Nobody went to games. That's just been a theme in Philly, Even the Phillies, they talk a big game with, we got stupid amount of money, we got all this money, we're going to be stupid with it. Might even mess around and be stupid. And then a year and a half later, we're in financial needs. We might have to sell our best pitcher, all this stuff. But now with this new team, we got good amount of hope, but it's going to be challenging with the Nets. The Hornets are looking good down in Charlotte. It's preseason. It's like 2 games, but still. Looking at our team, though, we got Danny Green from the world champion LA Lakers. He's at the point in his career where he's not as consistent, but when he's on, hopefully he can give us a lot of big outside presence that we're lacking right now. We got Seth Curry, who I believe could be the rebirth of JJ Redick for this team. Someone that can step in, make some big time threes, get some even mid range jumpers, drive. He'll be crucial for us. We got Dwight Howard, something I never would have guessed. Never would have thought we would get that Dwight Howard would be a 76er. But, I guess he's supposed to be what Elton Brand thought Al Horford would be, even though no one else thought Al Horford would be anything. And then our draft pick, well, first we got Justin Anderson back. He'll be a good role player. And then Tyrese Maxey, our first-round draft pick. Excited to see what he can do. Heard he's just getting so many shots up per day. Now he's in Philly working out with the team. Excited to see him play. Did well with Kentucky. Hopefully he can be the real deal for us. Now we move on to our third topic for today. I'm going to leave the link to the video in the description below, but we got Frank Michael Smith, who came out with a video talking about it's unfair to say college athletes are just amateur and they shouldn't be paid. So he came up with an idea of if college athletes can't get paid, then his suggestion is make a sports major, and not just like sports media, sports management, but a major for athletes to just major in sports. A major in which athletes can get half their credits from playing their sport, because it takes up so much of their time. For anyone that plays in high school, it can, sometimes you're like, oh, I got practice after school, I can't go hang out. At college level, especially Division I, you got Monday morning, you got to get up at 5:15. You got to be you got to be on the field by 5:45. You're warming up for conditioning till 6:30. You may have 7 a.m. lift afterwards, and you got hours of classes after that. You got skills session with just like small groups. You got to do your own workouts because you can't play college without working out on your own, weight room or on the field. And then you got team practices, 2.5 hours, however long, 2 hours, however long they are. So it's just a time commitment. You got that all week. People Thursday nights are going out to, parties or the bars or anything. You're an athlete. You're not going out. From personal experience, I'm on year 3 of this, and every Friday morning got conditioning. There have been times I'm getting up, going to conditioning, and there are people still walking back to campus. They're just coming back, and I'm already up starting my day, and their night is ending. So it's just different time schedule, and just everything's different as an athlete, a college athlete, especially Division I. So to break down his video, just to sum it up real quick, and you can go watch it again, it's in the description below. But the number one point he makes is there are so many careers in sports. Not everybody's going to play pro, but you can go pro in a different aspect. You can be a coach, you can be a trainer, you can be an athletic trainer, you can be a sports psychologist, you can be in the sports media, work their social media. There's so many options. Sports management, all the other stuff, whether that's still sports or business, there's a lot of options in the sports world. And being an athlete, obviously coaches are just, athletes have the best knowledge besides a coach in the sport. So if you want to be a coach, that gives you that edge of you've played it, you know what it's like. You want to be, strength and conditioning coach, you know what it takes physically to be a Division 1 lacrosse player, basketball, football, softball, soccer, whatever. You know that physical, just the toughness and everything, how much you got to be in shape from a conditioning standpoint, from a strength standpoint. So there's so many options that you can major in those aspects and just learn to one day get into that profession. And then the second point made is values and life lessons learned in sports. And that's where the classes come in. There's like trust, there's like a family aspect, there's leadership, there's all those things, the psychology, the psych side of things. And then one part that a lot of professional athletes they learn the hard way is the personal finance. And when we talk about the classes that the athletes will take, you have quote from the video, John Wooden's leadership class. You got sports psych, you got personal finance. So that will really help the athletes one day really learn how to invest in their money. So then when they get out of the league, professional football, a lot of guys don't make it past 4 years, or 4 years is like the average lifespan of playing in the NFL. This way, when they're done, it's not just, oh, I'm buying all these things, big mansions, and then, I'm out of the league, and just like that, I'm not making those millions of dollars anymore. How do I invest? And so when I'm out of the league at 35, if you make it like a long career, some people have been working for a while and they're still working jobs, but you don't have to. You can just do other things if you just use your money right and save it the right way. So that's where that really comes into hand. And then obviously, if you want to coach, there will be classes on coaching. And then the third aspect is you don't have to major in sports as an athlete. You can major in something like education, pre-med, finance, like a personal finance, marketing, whatever. And going back to the class thing, like I said earlier, playing your sport, if you're a sport major, that's half your credits. So you already got the credits. That's like a pass-fail option. You pass it because you're playing and you're on the team and everything. So that's where it really is in terms of his video and what he talks about. I honestly think it's a great idea. I put up a poll asking people, what do you think about this option? And I got 20-something responses, and it was surprisingly 100% in. Every single person that voted said yes, that sports should be a major. Because you got musicians, all these people that are majoring in music. So they got, they're doing something they want to do in their free time, and it's counting towards their credits. So that's why I believe sports should be a major. And as we roll along, we go into the fourth topic, a little fun one to discuss, night games versus day games. This past weekend, Utah Utes played at Colorado for a football game that was 12 o'clock noon Eastern time. So that means out in Colorado, it was 10 a.m. kickoff. And I saw a tweet, I don't know if it's true or not, but someone said the Utah hotel had a fire alarm go off at 6:30. So instead of, they get like maybe 2 hours extra of sleep because the game's 2 hours later. Nah. So, it's tough on them. But that raises my question again of, as both a fan and a player, what do you prefer? What time of the day do you prefer to watch and play these games? I went to a private school first where we didn't have lights. So all the lacrosse games were at 3:30, we're at 3:45. So, you get out of school, you gotta just hurry up to the locker room and get ready. So then you can just prepare and get ready for warm-ups in the game. In football, the games were some schools had lights, but all the games for the league were played at the same time. So we could be playing Malvern Prep, who has lights, but it's a 3:45 game. And even for football, the games were on Saturdays at 1 o'clock. So you don't have that Friday night atmosphere. And for basketball, obviously there's lights, you're indoors, but still Tuesday games were played at 3:45 or 5:15. But kids are playing sports at school. It was a requirement to, like, as credits, got to go play like a sport or do something. So you're playing a 3:45 game on a Tuesday, and there's no students there because they're at practice. Or maybe a 5:15 game, they'll go and watch a little bit before they have to go home. If it's 3:45, not a ton of parents are going to be there. They're at work. So it was like fairly empty gyms. Friday games were always at 7 o'clock, so that was always fun to get those crowds going. But otherwise, that wasn't fun. When I went to Springfield, all the games were at night. We had a couple games that were during the day, whether it was because certain games we would play in the afternoon after school. Lower Marion, they didn't have lights. I believe they're getting lights, but when we played at Lower Marion, it had to be an after-school game. And then we played in certain events where, like, played for the A's or Katie Sampson, where it's like an Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon during the day. But otherwise, all the games were Tuesdays to Thursdays at night, 7 p.m. And as a player, there's nothing like playing at night personally. That's my opinion. Just because, everybody's free. You can get the students there. You can get people from the community to go out. It's just so much fun. It's nighttime. And at certain times of the year, it's like, it's dusk, sun's setting, the lights are turning on, shining bright. It's just a fun experience. And even as a fan, for me, I like watching the night games. It's fun. But going back to the poll and the questions I put out, as a fan and a player, what time do you prefer watching and playing games? So I got 408 responses for the fans and 403 responses for an athlete. Let's look at the fans first. We got 343 people, or 84%, overwhelmingly prefer watching games at night. I'm going to ask some people, so why do you prefer that answer that way? Why do you like watching games at night? And they say it's just, again, some of them say there's not really words that can describe it, but your day's basically done. You don't have homework to do anymore. You don't have practice, so you can just go out, grab dinner beforehand or afterward, go watch friends play that are on the team, or just go watch a game, whether it's pro, college, whoever. It's kind of like your day's almost done. It's like a fun way to wrap up the night. And then 65 people, or 16%, prefer day games. When I asked those people, they just said that it's just you have the rest of the day to do whatever you want after the game, and they just feel like it's better to just watch because during the day it's warmer and just a different feel. And then that brings in the athlete point of view. And 331 people, 82%, 2% lower, prefer playing at night, and 72 people, or 18%, prefer the day. Now, I understand the preferring playing during the day, especially if to play after, if it's like an after school type of day. You just went through a long day of school. If it's like a Friday game, you just went through a long day of school. It's the end of the week. You're exhausted. Your body's exhausted. And instead of waiting all day to, get that game done, maybe you're already like hyped up during school. So you're just ready for that game to start. And and then if you play, you have the rest of the night, rest of the day, whatever. If it's a Saturday, you have like 11 a.m. game, 12 o'clock game. You have the rest of the day to do whatever. You have the next day off, then you just have the whole weekend after that. But playing at night, again, like I said before, you have all the people that can come out. You can get a bigger crowd, just more fun of an environment. It's just more fun to me personally. That's why I always preferred. Then you can get bigger crowds, and it's just a feeling you can't explain. And during college, most lacrosse games are during the day. Saturday is around 12. That's when most of them are. So it's like, yeah, you get the rest of the day, and then if you have Sunday off, rest of the day, and then all of Sunday to recover. But again, I'll always be a nighttime guy. And as we move on, we are now at the fifth and final topic, and that is music. Music during warm-ups. To me, I always try to, for games, find something to get me going, to get me motivated. But what always is just kind of that extra gear is the warm-up music. Now, if you don't have the right warm-up music, if you don't have good warm-up songs, it can kill a vibe, honestly. It can be hard to get up for a game if it's not like we don't have the reason, like certain things to really get you motivated. It can be hard. I've had games in high school where actually may or may not in college, I can't remember, but I know definitely in high school, especially for basketball, where as a away team, the home team will go to their locker room and they turn off the music, or they've changed the music to something that will not get the away team pumped up. I had a game where the home team went to the locker room basketball. They started playing Kids Bop. Now imagine that you're trying to get ready for a game, and Kids Bop turns on the speakers, and it just mentally you're just like, what the? They're playing Kids Bop? Like, this is ridiculous. Trying to get in the zone, and it's just Kids Bop. But on the flip side, now for the greatest high school basketball warm-up song, El Chapo by The Game and Skrillex. If you haven't heard it, you need to go listen to it right now. And then just imagine running out onto the court. It's Friday night. Got a big crowd for basketball game. And you have this over the speakers blasting. Instant goosebumps. So then I asked all the people on Instagram, what is their go-to, what is their favorite song from warm-ups in high school or in college, no matter the sport. Because different sports can have different vibes, what really people like to listen to. And just to name off music or songs that I was told, you got Thunder by AC/DC. You got Closer from the Chainsmokers. You got You're Gonna Go Far Kid from The Offspring. Nelly's Here Comes the Boom. Cool and Beautiful off of SoundCloud, Seven Nation Army. No Church in the Wild. You also got Scotland, The Brave Bagpipes. Dreams and Nightmares. And then Big Rings. All of them are good songs. Again, like I said, whatever people want to listen to, it's all about personal preferences, but everyone knows they have a song, or at least a certain type of song that gets them going. It's up to you. Everyone has their own thing, but in my opinion, warm-up music is always needed. I haven't played a home game yet at St. Bonaventure, so I'm yet to experience that with the warm-up music. But I can't wait. Just thinking about this has me ready for spring season to come around. I don't care when it starts. I just want it to start today. I'm just ready for that. But El Chapo is going to be on my music to listen to in the locker room. And with that, that will wrap things up on today's episode. Thank you very much for tuning in today. Again, make sure to go follow all my social media. I'm going to leave them in the description. Check out the video on sports by Frank Michael Smith and Sports Majors. I'll have everything, all the links, everything that I talked about in the description below. Go check that out. I hope everybody has a good day. Thank you very much again for tuning in. I'll see you on the next episode of First and Ben. Happy holidays. Benji out.